Hello guys and gals, and welcome. So today we're going to be going over my first ever unique item in Path of Exile 2. So welcome to the first episode of Unique Items. So the unique item that I have gotten my hands on first is called the Enfolding Dawn. Enfolding Dawn is a Pilgrim Vestments body armor piece, and as you can see, it also comes with quality 9%. I think that was actually on there when I found it, but I don't know if that comes on there always. It has 48 armor and 31 energy shield, so it's an energy shield armor piece. Gear like armor seems to be classified into, I want to say, like 4 subcategories. There's evasion, there's armor, there's energy shield, and then basically what they've done is they've added like combinations of those. So for instance, you can get like full armor, full evasion, like you can get armor, energy shield, you can get armor, evasion. That's also like 5 different options. And you can also get armor evasion. So like it's basically, this armor is specifically designed for somebody who wants armor and energy shield. It does have 77% increased armor and energy shield, which is a pretty high bonus. So you're going to get a pretty big bonus to your armor and energy shield. And it also has a massive 100 to spirit. Now this is really the special effect from what I can see, is that it gives you a huge amount of spirit, and we'll talk about that later. It also gives 5% to all elemental resistances, which certainly isn't terrible, so you can get those caps. And then intelligence provides no inherent bonus to maximum mana. So what does this mean? Well, if you take a look at your panel, you'll see that if you hold your mouse over intelligence, it says intelligence is an attribute required to use most equipment. That grants energy shield as well as various spell lines, weapons, and skills. Every 1 intelligence equals 2 mana. Intelligence does not grant damage to skills or any other benefits except for where specifically stated. So, if we take a look at the item again, you'll notice that my mana is currently 242. If we take the amount of intelligence that I have, which is currently 44, and we multiply that by 2, that is, of course, 88, right? If we put this on, you'll notice that I lose 88 mana, essentially, but I do gain 100 spirits, as well as some other bonuses. It's not like a direct reduction, but you see I go down from 242 to 154. And let me just do that on a calculator real quick just to see. Let's say 254 minus, what is that, 154? Is that exactly 88? That's about 100, so I guess I'm getting a little bit more than I thought. 154 to, what is it again? 242? 242, my bad. So 88, exactly. So what we're losing is we're losing any inherent bonuses that we would be getting to our maximum mana pool through our intelligence stat. But what we are gaining is 100 to spirit. Now, what does spirit do? And why is this so ridiculously important? Well, if we take a look at the build tree, and you look at the skills, and what we can do is I can pull up an uncut skill gem, and we go to something like the occult. You'll see that everything within the occult sort of has a spirit cost attached to it. So skeleton warriors have 25, skeleton sniper has 37, the skeleton arsonist is 37, skeletal frost mage is 49, pain offering is 42, or that's mana actually. There's a bunch of them in here basically, right, that are all going to be specifically spirit cost related. There are also some gems within the game that are called spirit gems, and spirit gems are specifically going to cost spirit cost. Like for instance, Arctic Armor right here, which is a spirit cost gem, cost me 30 reservation in spirit to be able to use it at all. And sometimes when you put individual gems into it, like support gems, like Clarity as an example, Clarity requires 10 more spirit on top of that, which brings the total up to 40. So for instance, if you were wearing this armor, you would have 100 additional spirit, and you also get increased armor and energy shield. But this allows you to summon more minions. It allows you to utilize more like spirit related buffs. It allows you to put more support gems into those spirit related buffs, and so forth and so on. And it's an absolutely great armor to find early on for a witch if you're planning on doing like a summon build, because obviously all of your summons are going to cost spirit, and on top of that, it just means having a whole bunch more summons, which is absolutely amazing, right? And where do you find this? I have no freaking clue. This is my first video ever, and to be honest with you, it seems like the uniques are just popping out of random jars and stuff. Like, it doesn't even seem to make any sense. There's also a graphics for this one, so if we let's go ahead and like point our character here, and we're gonna put this on, and as you can see, it has like a, kind of looks like priest robes. Let me let me take off my Arctic Dewjank real quick. It kind of looks like priest robes to me. Like as if I was in a, like an actual church, and I was like not the Pope, but like maybe like one of the lesser priests attending the halls, lighting the candles, like saying, "Bless you, my son." It's kind of an interesting looking graphic. It also has that like rope around it, around the neck. You see the rope around the neck. It's kind of neat. I mean, honestly, this armor looks like something that you definitely want to get your hands on if you're trying to do a spirit-heavy build early on, because obviously you don't really have a lot of spirit early on in the game. And speaking of that, so like early on in the game, basically there's only like one monster like per act that gives you spirit, and you don't really start out with any spirit either. So that's not a lot, right? Well, you can get spirit as a witch by putting on like scepters. Which is something that you can purchase from the shop. But for the most part, like you can't really get spirit in a lot of other ways. You have like a passive spirit that you gain each act as you're going on. But it's essentially like having a whole nother scepter on, which is amazing. And I'm assuming if you have any bonuses, like for instance 27% increased spirits, if that applies, I'm not really sure if there's ones that apply specifically to the armor. I mean, there could be. Let's take a quick look. Let's type in a spirit into the little search box, and let's see if anything pops up. Annie, Bueller. Is it working? Okay, those are glowing. Those are projectile. So they would be glowing and sort of, I can make that a little bit more dramatic. Well, unless I'm missing it, it doesn't look like there's any way to increase your spirit on the board. But there may be some equipment-based options. Obviously, there's an equipment-based option right here. Scepters are an equipment-based option. I've also heard some people talking about dual-wielding scepters to try and increase their spirit even higher, so they could get like crazy amounts of spirit bonuses, which sounds interesting. I mean, not only does this also provide a massive amount of spirit, it also gives you a really nice amount of armor and energy shield bonus as well. I'm assuming that you probably want to beat this thing up and probably add some additional modifiers to it. I think that you can do that through, corruption at the end of the game. You can corrupt it, and you could potentially add another modifier. So that would be interesting. I mean, for a spirit-heavy item, this particular character does not really using a huge amount of spirit at the moment, so it's not really something that I want to put on. But as soon as I get a chance, I'm going to pass this on to the nearest minion witch, so that they can get, 5 or 6 more skeletons in their army, which I think would be really awesome. As always, I do appreciate you guys and gals joining me for these videos. Be sure to hit that like button and the subscribe button if you enjoy the content. This is only the first of many videos for unique items. I have a feeling that I'm going to be playing this game for a while because I absolutely love it. And I'll probably do an impressions video as well. So make sure you hit that like button and subscribe button, especially if you want to see more, and keep watching.